Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Wednesday, the 21st of January 2026. In today's Mill news, we start with post-match comments. And this is from the southernnews.co.uk. You've got to make one of them count. Alex Neil rues missed chances after Mill narrowly beaten by league leaders Coventry City. Alex Neil thought Millwall were punished for not taking their chances in a tight 2-1 loss away at league leaders Coventry City. Neil was asked by Newsers then if he felt it was a game of fine margins in the post-match press conference. I say that's exactly what it was. I thought the game was very, very tight. I thought they had good moments. They had a good side, but equally, we had really good moments in the game. And we had a moment in the first half when we're 2 versus 1 down the side, and our pass across the box is dreadful. We then had Zach Sturge's left foot, Mika's header, and then we have another one where we're 2 versus 1 against a keeper, and he pulls a brilliant save off. And it just doesn't land for us, and Barrow tries to shift his feet and get his shot away, and the ball gets nicked off his toe. So we had all of that in a spell when we were on top, and when you have that away at the league leaders, you've got to make one of them count. If you do, you've got a good chance of getting the result. The fact that we didn't, then we got punished. Neil then reflected on the 90 minutes as a whole. I don't think we deserved to lose the game. Second half I thought we were excellent. The game ebbed and flowed. Coventry certainly had their moments, but we certainly had our moments too. The biggest frustration for me would be we had all our key moments before they scored their goal. And if you think of the 3 or 4 opportunities that we could have taken to then get the goal, that was going to really change the tide. Up until about the 78th minute, right before they scored, 3 or 4 of the opportunities came our way, and we looked more likely to get the goal, really. Then they scored, and from there, we opened the whole game up, and it looked a bit scrappy and a bit messy, but we needed to try and force the issue. We were never going to be satisfied with losing the game 2-1, so it was always going to be open right up until that point. They had the moments at that stage, really, but the game would never have got to that if we took a chance beforehand. Because if we scored, we would have locked the game up, and it would have been a different story. But that's this level, isn't it? Particularly at the top end of the table, when you're playing the best teams, what happens is you're never going to dominate a game for 90 minutes, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to make sure that you have your moments before they have theirs, and you've got to take them, and ultimately, that will decide the flow of the game. And that's what the result looks like. I think my biggest frustration is that we had that, and we had our moments before they had theirs. And we should have put the game to bed, but, we should have scored at least. And then from there, we've been brilliant at defending leads, and then it allows us to hit them in transition, and they did exactly that to us when they got the goal. Yes. Exactly. You've got to take your chances. Put the ball in the fucking net, will you? What are you doing? The ball's not even touching the ground. Moving on to this again from Southern News. Frank Lampard. Obviously, they have to put Frank Lampard. They got to get some clicks. They did 2.4k views for Frank Lampard. How many views for? You see, they got to get the views. Obviously, Frank Lampard, the big name, ex-England international. All of that stuff. They'll give everyone a difficult game in this league. Frank Lampard praises very good Millwall after narrow home win. Coventry City boss Frank Lampard heaps praise on Millwall after his side's narrow 2-1 home win, insisting the Lions will give everyone a difficult game in this league. They're a good team. We beat them 4-0 earlier in the season. It wasn't a 4-0 game, and we were in a really good moment clinically. They're a really difficult team. I watched a lot of them. They're hard to analyse because they're adaptable in possession. And everyone thinks of Millwall and thinks of the old Millwall. They're not that anymore. They can play. They've got a good squad, a good balance in the team, players that can get on the ball, and they've got a good physical presence. I knew today would be a very tough game, full respect to them, and they'll go and get a lot of results. I absolutely wouldn't be surprised if they're in and around it, whatever way, because I think they're a very good team with a strong squad. They've had injuries, but they can still deal with it because, they've got enough good players. Maybe they'll reload a bit in January. I don't know, but I think they're a strong team. They'll give everyone a difficult game in this league for sure. Mill have been aggressive out of possession since Alex Neil was appointed head coach just over a year ago and rank highly in pressing stats. Lampard was asked whether Mill's approach can be difficult to play against. Oh yeah, of course it is, because they negate passes that you want to make, and we had a lot of possession, I think 60% against them. That's not easy because their high pressure is really good, so you've got to try and break that a bit. And then, when we got to the middle thirds of that, I thought we did have a lot of possession, and we did give them problems as much as maybe, anyone will in this league. They're very, very good, the way they close down, they close passing lines, they push you to the side of the pitch, and they're very good at it, so full credit. Obviously, it's easy to be magnanimous in victory, isn't it? I wonder what he would have said if we would have beat him when his job was on the line, because everyone's thinking, here we go again, we're not going to go up this season. But, there you go. So interesting that he said, I wouldn't be surprised if they're in and around it in whatever way. So he thinks, much like I do, that second place is up for grabs. Obviously, after this defeat, first place is not on, but second place, possibility. Even Frank Lampard thinks so. So there you go. Now, moving on to some transfer speculation. And it's not a player coming in, it's a player going out. And this has been going on for a while. I mean, I don't want to be rude, but it's fair to say, I think, arguably, that whatever the Macauley Langstaff situation was, why we signed him and what that was about, hasn't really worked out, has it? And no, he puts the effort in. He's probably one of the quickest players in the team. But he puts a shift in. I'm not digging that out, but in terms of quality, when he gets in moments to score, he gets opportunities, and he's not putting them away. And you really need that. Really need him to do that. To get on the end of crosses. And he did have an amazing moment at the start of the season, first game. But that was kind of like a goal that he made himself. He got sent through by Doughty, run onto it, took a touch, run into it, and slide it past the keeper. So I don't know if he's better at that, getting on the ball and running at people, maybe like a bit like a Maku or that kind of thing, rather than being a fox in the box and getting on the end of crosses and nicking them in the goal. But he's been linked with a transfer away. So this is from footballleagueworld.co.uk. So Macauley Langstaff could leave Millwall's ambitious EFL club plot a transfer. Yeah, there's a lot of teams, in League 1 and League 2 who are happy to sign him. They'll be more than happy to, because he is a good player, and you can see why he did well in the lower leagues. Just hasn't happened for him at the moment. So League 2, so this is League 2. League 2 promotion hopefuls Salford City are reportedly plotting an ambitious transfer move to secure the services of Millwall striker Macauley Langstaff. And that is according to Alan Nixon via Patreon, with the update surfacing shortly after both the Ammies, that's their nickname, and Lions are involved in midweek action for differing reasons. Langstaff's current employers are amongst a whole host of sides fighting it out in the enthralling battle for promotion in the Championship, but those hopes suffered a minor dent on Tuesday night as Alex Neil's side suffered a late defeat at the hands of leaders Coventry. Yeah, they tell us about the game, don't need to know that. Meanwhile, Salford were the final club to progress into the FA Cup fourth round after their initial fixture with fourth tier rival Swindon Town was postponed on January the 11th. Yeah, they won 3-2, and then they now play Manchester City at the Etihad. So yeah, that's going to be fun. It's been well documented that the Greater Manchester club are looking to make strides of progress under their high-profile ownership, which includes former Manchester United legends Gary Neville and David Beckham. After only making the League 2 playoffs on one occasion since breaking into the EFL back in May 2019, the experienced Robertson is looking to guide Salford into League 1 for the first time ever. And having already made one eye-catching transfer move this window to bolster his attacking department in the form of Ryan Graydon from Fleetwood Town, the former Oxford United boss could yet see another come to fruition between now and the transfer deadline day of 7 p.m. on Monday, February the 2nd. Salford eyeing ambitious transfer move for Millwall FC forward Macauley Langstaff. As previously mentioned, Langstaff is a major transfer target for Salford, who are looking to continue flexing their financial muscles to gain a desired advantage over several promotion rivals in League 2. With 21 games of their league campaign still to play. At present, Robinson's side are level on points with Swindon and Walsall on 46 points and are only outside of the automatic promotion places on goal difference, having played the same number of fixtures as the Robins and the Sadlers. However, they are also only inside the playoff places by 5 points, with Chesterfield currently occupying the first spot outside the top 7 with 41 points to their name, although aspirant to play the game more than everyone else, every one of the sides above them except for MK Dons. Langstaff's previous spell in the National League and League 2 would not count is what eventually earned him an initial £700,000 switch to the Den in the summer of 2024, but he has since endured an extremely mixed spell in South London. The 28-year-old has only scored 3 times and provided 2 assists across 59 appearances under Neil Harris and Alex Neil, despite the fact that the Lions have continued to push for the playoffs for the first time since 2002 at Championship level. The former Gateshead hotshot was linked with a potential switch to Bristol Rovers in the summer before a move to the Memorial Stadium failed to materialise. However, after making 23 appearances for Millwall across all competitions so far this season, Nixon claims that Salford are readying an ambitious move for the striker's signature. In a bid to lure the forward back to the 4th tier, the report claims that Langstaff could be offered as much as £10,000 per week in wages, which will be a statement of intent. Yeah. So there you go. But how much are we getting? Now here's the thing. Is his contract up in the summer? He signed in 2024, so 2-year deal with an option. If we don't give that option, the press the button on it, maybe we try to get anything we can for him. Maybe, I don't know. But let's have a look at that. So this is from WhoScored.com, just showing you the League 2 table. You know, show don't tell. Let's show you. This is where they are. They're 4th. But here's the thing. One of the teams that they're vying with for promotion playoffs, whatever you want to call it, is Notts County. So would he go there to fuck them over? I don't know. And sure, you know, he's already been to League 2. Surely he'd want to go to League 1 and prove himself there. Because then he might, you know, if he goes to a League 1 team, especially one at the top of the table now, they get promoted, he comes back in the Championship next year, you know, gets more money, because there might be like, oh, when you get promoted, your wages go up, and then he's back being a Championship player. So he drops out of the Championship for what? Until the end of the season, so what, 5 months? Gets promoted from League 1 with a team, whether that's automatic or playoff, comes back into the Championship, and there you go. So, yeah, you know, maybe that would be a better option. I don't know why you would go to League 2. You know, you could easily see League 1 teams coming for him. I don't know why they wouldn't come in for him. Obviously, it's a matter of budget and whether they can afford it, but I don't know why they wouldn't. And you can see Bristol Rovers here. How are they going to afford him? You know, they're at the bottom of the table fighting for their lives. So, what was that about? But yeah, there you go. That's Alan Nixon again, everyone. Alan Nixon. Remember, that's the guy who said we would be signing Barry Bannon. Has that happened yet? No. Now, transfer news regarding another club. Nothing to do with Millwall, or is it? So this is from FootballInsider247.com. Sunderland open talks to sign Bundesliga goalkeeper. What's that got to do with us? Well, Anthony Patterson. They said, well, yeah, we don't mind him going out on loan, but we need to replace him first. If they sign this goalkeeper, they can loan him out, but then, you know, is he going to come to us? Just mean he might go somewhere else. They don't even. Did they mention it here? No. His arrival could spell the end for homegrown star Patterson, who has found himself little more than a backup this term after playing a key role in Sunderland's recent rise. Patterson has been heavily linked to a Sunderland exit in recent months, with Millwall the latest side to sniff around a potential loan deal until the end of the season. So there you go. Ex-Sunderland boss Alex Neil is currently in charge of Millwall, who has strong ambitions to strengthen their group in January to help the push for playoffs. Sunderland have been reluctant to allow Patterson to leave, as it would have left them short of senior options if Roofs had picked up an injury or been suspended. But if they can get Omlin through the door, then the risk is no longer prevalent for them. Well, I would say they're not going to go down. Like, the three teams at the bottom are fucking dog shit, so they're going to have to go some to outperform them and get relegated. But they're not going down. So I mean, even if they put someone else in goal, they're not going to go down. And that's the only thing that matters, really. Whether you finish one place above the places or in the middle of the table, it doesn't really matter. There is differing prize money where you finish in the league, but finishing fourth bottom is a lot better than being in the championship for next season. That's for sure. Now, I covered this yesterday, but that was the Brentford match report. This is the Millwall match report. So this is a Millwall channel. I'm gonna give them the dues, and I'm gonna read this out. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. Goals from Caleb Redhead and Will Wright gave Millwall's under-21s a 2-1 Professional Development League win over Brentford at Wheatsheaf Park on Tuesday afternoon. Brentford creating the first opening in the match as Andre Gray's low cross on the right byline met the right foot of Michael Boney, whose subsequent shot deflected wide. Benicio Baker, who already has 2 goals this calendar year with a brace at Colchester 12 days ago, gave Kevin Nugent's men their first opportunity 7 minutes in as he received the ball and drove towards goal, cutting into the middle and firing a low-driven effort just wide of the right-hand post. Some excellent work from Baker and Sheldon Kendall down the left flank saw the latter beat his man and fire an enticing cross into the box, which was cleared for a corner. The resulting set piece, a Jack Howland outswinger, caused chaos in the box before falling kindly to Redhead, who was in the right place at the right time to thrash the ball into the net from close range. The striker's 5th goal in 7 games. Bosh, have it. Baker and Redhead both went close shortly after the opening goal, as the goal scorer showed some excellent physicality to outmuscle Maxwell McKnight and racing on goal before seeing a curled effort caught by Julian Eyestone in the host's net. The returning Baker showcased some excellent footwork, making his way past 3 Brentford men carrying the ball from the halfway line to the edge of the box. His excellent right-footed strike from 18 yards out that followed went just over the bar. The Bees began to pick up momentum, and with 10 minutes left of the half, they won the ball high up the pitch. The ball fell nicely to Gray, who played the ball through to Demiro Bob Semple, whose low effort was well saved by Joel Coleman. On the stroke of half-time, the West London side went forward again as Joe Henry made his way down the right flank before sending a cross into the box. His delivery evaded everyone in the middle, but eventually fell to Lucas Picotto just inside the left side of the box. Picotto then fired a left-footed shot at goal, which was parried out by Coleman. Bob Semple was thwarted again by Coleman 10 minutes after the interval. Luca Bent's cross met the forward's head, but the shot that followed was caught by the Millwall keeper. The Young Lions doubled their advantage on the counter as Howland broke away with the ball from his own box, progressing into the midfield before firing a well-placed pass forward to Redhead. The informal striker held the ball up well before being tackled, but the tackle saw the ball ricochet through to Wright, who bared down on goal and poked the ball through Einstone's legs to make it 2-0. They didn't say that in their match report at Brentford yesterday. Put it through his legs. Have some of that. Nutmeg and a goal. Bosh. 2 of the home side substitutes went close shortly after the second goal as Theo Mwene saw his shot blocked at close range by Tristan Parks and Naheem Giscombe cut in with some excellent footwork before firing an inside of the box curled effort just wide of the far post. After enjoying a spell of domination, Brentford did get a goal back as Henry's inch-perfect long throw met the head of Josh Stevenson, whose well-placed header found the top left corner with just under 20 minutes left. The Bees dented their hopes of finding a level as Mwene was sent off after preventing a counter-attack with a high challenge on Louis Jacome. The 10-man home side continued to push forward, but the Mill backline held firm to see the game out and secure a 2-1 triumph at Wheatsheaf Park. Attentions now turn to the trip to Swansea in PDL League action next Tuesday. And obviously here we go. This is the team. They don't tell us who got subbed on or subbed off, but Coleman, Vieira, Emuse, Jacome, Park, Steyer, Benicio, Baker, Howland, Redhead, Wright, Kendall, and the subs were Lindner, Rogers, Hammond, Chains, Whitby and Forbes. There you go. Fantastic stuff. Nutmeg goal through the keeper's legs. Have it. Now, moving on to this, also from millwallfc.co.uk, Mill are seeking IT assistant. Yes, they are seeking an IT assistant. Oh, IT. It's an IT assistant. What's that mean? Supper. Oh, information technology. Okay. The IT assistant will provide first and second line technical support to staff across all departments, assisting with the setup, configuration, maintenance and troubleshooting of a wide range of IT systems and equipment. This includes supporting Windows and Apple devices, mobile phones, printers and network connected equipment, as well as maintaining accurate records through inventory and help desk systems. That's in accurate records through inventory. Let's have a look at this. We got time. Don't worry about it. So this is the job description. Here we go. Based at Millwall Football Club, the Den, John Berylson Way, SE16 3LN, 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and home match days. Don't forget home match days. So you get to watch a match for free unless the computer's fucked and then you have to go and fix it. So yeah, they have an IT manager. So they already have a guy doing the IT job. So they need 2 of them now. Fucking hell, what's going on down there? Oh God, are they gonna do digital tickets now? Is that what this is about? This is what they're doing, is it? Oh God. Yep. Have we already mentioned this? No. Millwall Football Club is looking for a motivated and enthusiastic IT assistant to join our IT team. This role is ideally suited to an apprentice or entry-level candidate who is keen to develop their technical skills while supporting both the day-to-day operations of the club and delivery of matchday activities. The IT assistant will provide first and second line technical support to staff across all departments, assisting with the setup. Yeah, we mentioned that. We did mention that paragraph. The role offers a hands-on learning environment with structured support, training and development opportunities, providing a strong foundation for a future career in IT within a fast-paced and dynamic setting. We expect you to be self-motivated, efficient and well-organised with a keen eye for detail. So, autistic? You'll be IT literate with skills in the use of Microsoft Office, in particular Outlook, Word and Excel. Well, apparently it's not called Microsoft Office anymore. They're calling it Microsoft Copilot or some shit like that. They're merging it with AI now, so I don't know. You're gonna, instead of fixing the computer, you're gonna have to, talk to the AI and negotiate with it, saying, "Hey, can you fix this for me, please? We need to do this and this and this," and you've gone a bit loopy-loo. You're not working properly. The role includes, but it's not limited to, to provide first and second line technical support to all departments, to set up, configure IT equipment, record and tag Windows 11, MacBooks, iPads, iPhones and access points, to provide technical support and on-call assistance to ensure all relevant equipment systems are functioning prior to home matches, to liaise with outside supplier support contractors as required, to evaluate equipment and follow IT department procedures for the acquirement of new equipment, to acquire quotes and submit to the head of IT when required, to manage stock levels and keep a record of equipment with stock checks. Someone been stealing the computers? Oh dear, someone been stealing those computers. To maintain a required number of PCs, laptops, mobiles ready for distribution when required. Did they give the players mobile phones? Surely not. Maybe the foreign ones. No, they must give them like SIMs or something like that, no? I can't, you know, they wouldn't give them a phone. Obviously, if they've come from abroad, you give them a SIM or something. They'd probably give them Millwall Mobile. They give them that. Probably. Wouldn't be surprised, me. Yeah. To maintain a schedule of review dates of equipment so they were up to date with software and are kept in good working order physically. This is the thing. Do they turn on or off automatic updates? Because if you're a business and you're trying to run things, and you must turn off automatic updates, because these things they just update themselves, and then it's all changed, it's all gone mad. You're like, what the fuck's gone wrong with my computer? Oh, it's fucking updated itself. Here we go. What the hell's going on? So essential requirements: GCSEs level 4 to 9. What's that then? What's that? They've changed it again. What happened to A, B, C, D, and F and U? And that's not being rude. That's what it used to be, F and then U. They've changed it again, so you can't compare it. You can't compare apples with apples. It's apples and oranges. You can't tell how worse it's getting. GCSE, BTEC in computer science, ICT or other technical subject is desirable. Strong attention to detail, and enthusiastic and productive mindset, eagerness to learn and develop within a fast-paced environment. Driving license desirable. Obviously, yeah. If this is an entry-level job, you're looking at a teenager, you know. So that's, fucking nightmare trying to get a driving license at the moment, apparently. Complete carnage. You can't even get the tests. The driving instructors are back. They've got them now. It's just can't get the tests. Then they've got personal skills, which we'll skip. But just tell you, the closing date for applications is Friday the 6th of February 2026. So, there you go. If you know someone who's interested, be a friend, share it out. Why not? Help a friend. Let them know. Now, we haven't signed anyone, but the signings carry on regardless. Carry on signing. Carry on football. Have they done a carry on football? They didn't do that, did they? Maybe that's an idea for a reboot. Carry on football. BBC.co.uk, as usual, transfer done deals. And here we go. Watford have loaned out Travis Akamia to Gillingham. They've also signed Eduardo Bove. He was a free. He used to play at Roma. For some reason, it's a free transfer. I don't know if that's the guy who had a heart problem. There's a guy in Italy. He's not allowed to play. He's played in Serie A. Basically, he had a heart attack on a pitch, and they fit him with a pacemaker. And the Italian FA, they don't let them play with that. This is the kind of thing that Eriksen's got. But the English FA, they do let you play with it. So I'm not sure if that's him or not. Charlton, here we go. They're trying to fortify themselves ahead of Saturday. They're desperate to win this game. Obviously, their cup final. They haven't beaten us in 40 years. And friendlies do not count. They do not count. So, here we go. They've signed, I think he's a left back from Liverpool. Maybe a right back. On loan, Luke Chambers, a youngster. West Brom have loaned out Cole Deeming to Cheltenham. And Ryan Nyambe has gone from Derby to Reading on loan. And this is a strange... Remember him? Michael Obafemi? He's gone from Burnley to Blackpool on loan. So, interesting that one, isn't it? But there you go. Were there any transfers that we missed yesterday? Keshi Anderson has gone from Birmingham to Portsmouth on a free transfer. Anything else? Oh yeah, Birmingham, they spent a bit of money to sign August Priske from Djurgårdens of Sweden. That's it for the for the Championship transfers. So, there are things going on, and we're going to take a look at them now. And here we go. So this is from footballdatabase.eu. I know, Brexit means Brexit, but this is the only website that I could find that has a full list of Championship teams, club by club, of players coming in. And even then, it's a bit ropey at times, because I know some of them ain't right to some extent. But yeah, it's the best we got. So they've got this thing where they got players coming back from loan. That's counted as being coming into your squad. But if we go down, so this is Birmingham. They have signed in this window so the ones that say first, the 01, that's January. Kai Wagner, John Solis on loan, Ibrahim Osman on loan, and August Priske for €7 million from Drew Gardens. So, they made a move. Blackburn, apparently a crisis club. Now, this is another thing as well. They've got members of the coaching team on the transfer in thing. Like Jordan Rhodes has become, I think he's doing like a loan manager or some shit like that behind the scenes. But in terms of players, so they've signed 2. They've signed Aaron Cashin from Birmingham on loan. They've signed Jorgensen from Bodo Glimt. And they beat Man City, what was it, yesterday? On that plastic pitch in the Arctic Circle. So they've signed 2 players. We've got Bristol City. Gerhard Strubers, Bristol City. They have signed Sam Morsey. He was a free agent, but they had to wait to the registration window to open. Signed him for free from a Kuwait club. And they've signed George Urphy on loan from West Ham Utes. Charlton, obviously playing them soon. And here we go, Lyndon Dykes. He's not gonna. Is he? Is he gonna do it? Like this guy, he always gives us trouble. This guy, Lyndon Dykes. They're not gonna beat us on. We struggled against them in the away game. We had to rely on Reece Bangor-Williams coming off the bench. But I mean, so they've signed Harrison Clark on loan from Ipswich. They signed Lyndon Dykes on a transfer from Birmingham, and Luke Chambers on loan from Liverpool youth, as I just mentioned. But also, apparently Zach Mitchell's come back. But has he gone out again? Has he come back? So this is Billy Mitchell's brother, if you didn't know that. This is Billy Mitchell's brother. So, here's the thing. Obviously, Billy Mitchell, apparently out of contract in the summer. He wouldn't, would he? He wouldn't, would he? Would he go over and sign for Charlton? I mean, he wouldn't, would he? I don't know. Coventry, they have signed 2 players. Min Hyuk Yang on loan from Portsmouth, and of course, we all know about Romain Esse, and they signed him on loan. So they signed 2 players in on loan, 2 wingers, I believe. I think the other guy's a winger as well. So there you go. Derby County, they have signed 1 player, Oscar Fraulo from Mönchengladbach. So there's that. Hull City, they have signed 1 player, Yu Hirakawa, on loan from Bristol City. Japanese, that's interesting. That one kind of didn't make sense. But I don't know if Japan going to the World Cup. I know they go to most World Cups. Maybe he went sideways just to get more game time, to try and get in that Japanese squad. I don't know, to play more, get more game time. Ipswich Town, where are they? They have signed no one. But then when you look at what the business that they've done in the summer, spending a lot of money they spent. And this was insane. All the players he signed, and they were at the bottom of the table. They're now second, or they were. We'll get into that later, but they ain't signed anyone this window. I think they've done all their dough. So yeah. Leicester City, they ain't signed anyone. So they got problems behind the scenes in terms of financial fair play charges against them. Expected they might face a points deduction. Again, still waiting on that, like the Man City one. What's going on with that? How long does this shit fucking take? Middlesbrough, team at the top of the table as well. Have they signed anyone? Well, indeed they have. So again, they're saying Leo Castledine from Huddersfield. He's a Chelsea player. He was on loan at Huddersfield. They have signed him. I believe it's a permanent deal. But it's a permanent deal from Chelsea, not from Huddersfield. So that's incorrect. So I know that's incorrect. So then how much of this other stuff is incorrect? Because I don't really know. I have to trust that they know what they're talking about. But do they? Don't know. And they signed Finley Monroe from Swindon Town. So they made 2 signings. Moving on to us, obviously. And again, look, Kamari Grant. Not Kamal, Kamari. So, yeah. And again, we ain't signed no one. This window, we made plenty of signings before in the summer, and they're all performing pretty well, to be honest, when they do play. I mean, Zach Sturge done quite well yesterday against Romain Esse. Max Croken's been fantastic for, he was brought in to be like the second or third choice keeper, and he's been fantastic. He's been playing, he's been fantastic. Luongo was pretty decent until, he got injured. Caleb Taylor's been outstanding. Alfie Doughty, when he's been playing, he can pass the ball, can he, that lad? Derek's been a sensation from the second division in France. And you think, well, what kind of league's that? What standard is that? Well, I mean, fucking there you go. Derek's been outstanding. Ballo, hit and miss, hot and cold. Bits and pieces. So, yeah, but I mean, Will Smallbone, he was alright as well, wasn't he? But, yeah, Norwich, who have they signed? Have they signed anyone? They signed that winger guy from Vancouver. So they made 1 signing. Oxford, they made quite a lot of signings. They're trying to stay up. Jamie Donnelly on loan from Tottenham. Pert Harris, I believe, on loan from Brentford. The new manager, Emre Cognac from Brentford on loan. Jamie McDonald from Mansfield. And Jinwoo Jeon from a South Korean team, John Bok. Portsmouth, they're down there battling as well. They signed Keshi Anderson on the free. They've signed Ebu Adams from Derby County. And they've loaned in Melanich Ali from Luton Town. Again, a bizarre one. Luton are in League One. Portsmouth in the Championship. They've loaned him. They've loaned him in. He's been loaned up a league. Unusual, but will it work? Will it keep them up? Who knows? What's this, Preston, they ain't signed anyone yet. They did get that Jamal Lewis. He was available on a free transfer. Whenever I've seen him play, because I watched the Northern Ireland games quite a lot, because obviously watching George Saville, Millwall player playing for Northern Ireland. It's Jamal Lewis, pretty decent. Quite surprised he was still a free transfer. I don't know what his wage demands were, but he ended up at Preston. They're doing quite well, aren't they? QPR, who have they signed in this window? They have signed Ronnie Edwards from Southampton, and they've signed Justin Obikwu from Coventry. Sheffield United, they have signed Kai Jana Hoover from Wolves on loan. Alright. And who's this? Sheffield Wednesday. They have brought in Jaden Heskey from Man City on loan. I believe that's Samuel Heskey's kid. And they've signed Murphy Mahoney from QPR on loan. I think they are still under some kind of transfer embargo in terms of bringing players in. So that's kind of... I'm not sure what the terms of that are. Because, how are they going to sell players like Barry Bannon if they can't bring any players in? Southampton, who have they signed? They have signed Daniel Peretz from Bayern. Bayern who? Bayern Munich? On loan. Oh, that's the keeper, innit? That's the keeper that they signed in on loan. And Stoke City, they brought in Gavin Bazunu on loan from Southampton. He's the keeper that replaced, got knocked out from the other one, signing for them. And is this last but not least? No, Swansea. We've got Wrexham. Wrexham's at the end there. So Swansea, have they brought anyone in? How is that someone coming in? Joel Ward. How has he gone in if he's retired? Did he retire and then they signed him again? Don't know what's going on here. Watford, they have signed that geezer today, or the other day, Eduardo Bove on the free from AS Roma. West Bromwich Albion, just the manager changes. Yep, just the manager changes. They ain't signed anyone yet. And Wrexham, have they signed anyone? Nah. So, there's a few. It's not a lot. What was it, about 5 or 6? Was you keeping track? I forgot. About 5 or 6 who haven't signed anyone yet. So, we're not outstanding. We're not bucking the trend. There's a chunk of the league that haven't signed anyone yet. So, do not panic, guys. Do not panic. Now, let's have a look at the table, because of course there were games today. There was only 3 games today. I don't know why it was so unbalanced, really, with so many games on Tuesday and Wednesday. I think the clubs prefer playing on Tuesday, don't they? I mean, that's usually the day, isn't it? Tuesday night, Wednesday. You have a day off Thursday, Friday, and then you're back at it. I don't know. I think Tuesday's probably better, isn't it? Anyway, where we go? Oh yeah, the results from today. Southampton 1, Sheffield United 0, Watford 1, Portsmouth 1, Stoke 1, Middlesbrough 2. And that leaves the table looking as it does like this. Middlesbrough go back up to second after they were knocked down by Ipswich, although Ipswich have a game in hand, which if they win will take them above Middlesbrough by a point. So it's Coventry on 58, Middlesbrough on 52, Ipswich on 50, Hull on 47, Millwall on 46, and Preston on 43. So there you go. So it's just the top 4 teams that won the games this midweek. And there you go. So, if the unthinkable does happen, and we do lose to Charlton at the weekend in their cup final, we will only drop to 7th place. But I'm sure that's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen. They've scored 27 goals, which surely must be less than us, yes. So we've scored more goals than them. And I think we're all a bit pissed off about the few amount of goals that we've scored. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 teams that have scored fewer goals than Charlton, and they're all fighting for relegation. So I think our defence against them should be all right now. We should be. So we're not going to concede 2. So it's either going to be 0 or 1. And you just up the other end. I'm sure they're going to park the bus or do some other stupid tactic like that, parking the bus, and we'll have to break them down. So we'll see how that works out. Probably not much point in going down the wings and whipping balls in. You have to be a bit more clever about it, I would imagine. But we'll see how we go. But that's how the table looks now. Now, that's it for the news. Now we're going to move on to post-match stats. If you're not sticking around for that, thank you for watching. If you are, then here we go. And this is from WhoScored.com. It's the match report. You see the top performers by rating, by shots, by tackles and dribbles. And it's a bit of a mix, but the top players are all Charlton players. Hadi Wright was the man of the match. Josh Eccles had the most shots. Milan Van Hewick had the most tackles. So, Millwall created a high number of chances related to the possession. We're effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from the flanks. We're effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from counter-attacks. We lost possession often. We were caught offside often. We attacked through the middle. We had a high shot frequency when in possession. And we favoured crossing the ball. And we favoured long balls. Yeah, I'm normally quite annoyed that we kept getting offside. Some of them, you have to try it. You have to get on that last man and you have to try it. Especially with a team like them, where they're not really going to pump it long. They're just going to play it back out from the back. they don't go sideways, but they do play it out from the back. So if you take the chances, you put the ball through. Maybe we're offside, maybe we run through on it and we get shot off. But if we do get offside, they just start again from the back, and they pass it forward ever so slowly. So, but as you see, it's pretty even here. It's pretty even. Attempts on goal 15 to 14, 9 to 8 open play, 4 to 3 set piece, and 2 to 3 counter attack. Pretty even overall on each of the things. So 2 goals from 15 shots for them, that's 13% conversion rate, and 1 from 14 for us, that's 7% conversion rate. So again, didn't take the chances that we had, as Alex Neil mentioned right at the top of today's video. Didn't take our chances. They were mostly going down the right hand side because obviously they got a Premier League player in that team, and his name's Romain Esse. We were pretty mixed, really. I mean, normally it's more skewed, but it's pretty mixed. Shot directions, shot zones, action zones, and player positions. So yeah, a lot more defensive from Millwall there. You can see the actual outline of the back four. Normally it's a bit more skew with, but like I said earlier, Zach Sturridge did a pretty decent job on Romain Esse, to be fair, and I think that's why he was brought in rather than Alfie Doughty. I think if it was Alfie Doughty up against Romain Esse, he would have turned inside out like a pretzel, really. Let's be honest about it. But you can see there, literally, the perfect formation, 4-2-3-1. You can see it there. It's spelled out. The 4, 10 and 8, that's Negley and Billy Mitchell. 17, that's Langstaff. And you've got the, Femi Aziz, Ballo, and Ivanovic. So 4-2-3-1. There you go. Now, let's move on to this. Also from whoscored.com. That's the wrong one. Let's go on to this one first. This is the match centre. They score in 11 minutes. SA picks up his booking. We equalise, 29 minutes. And then the next action is in the second half. The 3 substitutions. And in retaliation, we make 1. Casper De Nor for Turno Ballo. That's obviously to shore it up. Probably should have done it earlier. Or at the same time, we probably should have made more changes earlier. I think once Romain Esse comes off, you can probably take Zach Sturridge off and bring Doughty on, and then these balls can open it up for you, But just the one change. And then, 8 minutes after they make their changes, they get the goal, and it was coming. As soon as they made the changes, they had obviously tactically tweaked it, and we were struggling to deal with it. And then we make our changes at the end of the game. I think, was it 4 minutes of stoppage time? It wasn't a lot. You would have imagined that it would have been a bit more, because like I said yesterday, that player that went down, who was apparently needed a lot of time to be tended to, looked quite serious, and then, he miraculously made a fantastic recovery and played on until the end of the game. How convenient. But, I think, again, one thing I would have said is, bring the subs on earlier. If you're going to bring them on earlier. But, I think what I was expecting, I think once the goal goes in, he's thinking, they're going to defend there, so we can start attacking them, because they're going to be more defensive, so we can just go at them, and it'll be wave after wave of Millwall, and maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get a goal. So you can see all the changes are attacking players, Coburn, Amaku, Doughty. But to no avail. If you look at the top right and top left where the club badges are, you can see the average player rating for the two teams. It's 6.64 for Coventry and 6.44 for Millwall. So very fine margins there, very fine margins, not a lot in it. And I will say, a lot of people slagging off. We didn't sell out our allocation. We sold out the tickets for Wrexham, by the way. Wrexham away sold out today. It was 660 loyalty points today, so that for season ticket holders. So that's the mark now to get that. Look at their attendance though. Doesn't it hold like? It holds like, isn't it like 40,000? There were a lot of empty seats there yesterday for them as well. They're top of the table. They saving their money up for next season? Like, what's the deal with this? Was the economy that bad? I mean, I know it's bad down here, but we're in London. God knows what it's like outside of London with this failing Labour government. I'm sure it must be an absolute nightmare. But there you go. So, interestingly, in terms of Millwall, Ivanovic gets the high mark, 7.4. Then Aziz was 7.5, obviously the assist and the goal. Langstaff was 6.7, which is number 3, the third best. And I thought Sturge had a good game, but he's got 5.9 here. And basically the whole back line, Kramer 6.3, Negley 6.2, Crocombe 6.3. So yeah, basically low sixes. Right, total shots 15 to 14. Ivanovic with 3, Langstaff with 3, Aziz with 3, Ballo with 2. There, you gotta take your chances, guys. You gotta take those chances. Possession 61 to 38. Yeah, we know all about that, don't we? We don't need the ball. You don't need the ball to score. Billy Mitchell on the ball the most, 5.3, and then Cooper with 5.2. Interesting, Crocombe on for 4.3. So obviously, don't know if that was trying to slow the game down, take some time out of the clock. I don't know. Possession pass success percentage 80 to 68. So Taylor with 92. And what else have we got? Obviously Aziz is whipping crosses in, so he's at 56. Ivanovic 44. Okay. Crocombe 53. So obviously wasn't lumping them all long, because if he was, it would be down to 34. Dribbles 7 to 3. So they're fullbacks dribbling forward. Aerials 1. 19 to 30. Wow. So that's some effort there. Ivanovic with 7. And their back line, they only had 8. So he probably won 7, lost 7, Ivanovic. Unfortunately, we can't check anymore, and we'll get onto that in a minute. Even Crocombe won an aerial, didn't he? Everyone except for Langstaff and Negley. Coburn won 3 when he came on. Tackles 5 to 10. Obviously, if they've got the ball more, we have to tackle it and get it off them. Langstaff with 2. Again, like I said, if we signed him for a goal scorer, and he hasn't been doing that, but other than that, he does put a shift in. He does try. He does do whatever they're asking him to do. He does make an impact on the game. But you're taking up one of 11 places on the pitch, and if you're going to say, right, we need to improve the team, we need to get rid of some of these players and swap them out, the first one you would probably start with would be Langstaff, to be fair, and then probably Ballo, because he's a bit hit and miss. But other than that, corners 4 to 3. These are the players who won the corners. Again, could we have tried to get more corners? We set pieces and that, but only getting 3 corners in a game. Also, they do have that massive pitch down there. Dispossessed 7 to 3. So yeah, there you go. Now moving on to this. which is the player stats. So they had, what was it, 14 shots? How many were actually on target? 4. So again, that's not very good. 2 goals from 4 shots on target. That's 50%. But what did we do? We had, 13 shots? How many were actually on target? 4. So that's the difference. We had 4 shots on target. We get 1 goal. They have 4 shots on target. They get 2 goals. That's why they're top of the table. If we go to the ratings, as mentioned, Femias is top, 7.53. Hang on, that's different than what's on here, no? Where are we going? Oh, I thought that's 7.3. I'm losing my eyesight. I need to go down to Specsavers. It's 7.5. Femias has got the high score. 7.53, 7.37 for Ivanovic, 6.73 for Langstaff. He was number 3. Ballo with 6.62, Jake Cooper 6.59, Caleb Taylor 6.58, and then Billy Mitchell below, it's mid sixes, and then we have 5.99 for a Doughty, 5.96 for a Macu. Obviously they're coming on with 10 minutes to go, if that. Zach Sturge 5.88. Again, I don't understand why he got such a low score. Just for the yellow card? Surely not. He had 58 touches of the ball, which was the most of a Millwall player. 58 touches of the ball. And Casper De Noor, 5.87, coming off the bench. Okay. So, let's look at... shots and shots on target. So here we go. Femi's is 3-1. Ivanovic 3-2. Langstaff 3-1. And then you got Ballo, Taylor, Cramer, Sturge, all off target. Offense. Let's try this again. Refresh. Pop up. Is the pop up going to pop up? No. Okay. Fantastic. What are we looking for? How many? Oh my god, this is a lot of offsides. 4 offsides for Femias is. 2 for Ivanovic, 1 for Langstaff, 1 for Macu. But like I said, you've got to take the chances. You've got to push it to the end. You've got to push the envelope, especially if they're playing a high line. And we got quick players that can get behind. Langstaff's quick, Aziz is quick, Amaku's quick. And you've got to try and play the odds. And like I said, worst case scenario, you give them a free kick, and they just play a short pass and carry on. They don't lump it forward to the big man, because they didn't have a. Hadji Wright is quite tall, but they didn't. He's not really. They don't use him like that. Ellis Sims, he is a target man type of striker player, but defensively, who did what? So tackles, again, where's the defence? They're not making any tackles. The game's being tackled in the middle of the park. Billy Mitchell with 2, Ballo with 2, Langstaff with 2, Cramer with 1, Cooper with 1, Caleb Taylor with 1, Zach Sturge with 1. So the defence only had 1 tackle per man. But did they do other stuff? Well, let's find out. Interceptions, Negley with 2, Langstaff with 1, Cramer with 1, Taylor with 1, Ivanovic with 1. Clearances, Cramer with 6, Caleb Taylor with 5, Cooper with 5, Ivanovic with 2. Yeah, I think I noticed one from a corner. Very noticeable, that one. Blocked shots, 1 apiece for these guys. So moving on to passing. Who had the most passes? Jake Cooper 41, Billy Mitchell 39, Jack Saxter 32. Yep. Who had the high passing accuracy? Caleb Taylor, 92 passing accuracy off 25 passes. Okay. See, this is the thing. Look at this. Alfie Doughty only made 3 passes. If you're going to have Alfie Doughty, you need to bring him on earlier than that. He's 26. He's only 26. I thought he was older than that. He looks it. He don't look 26. Jesus. Crosses of the ball and accurate crosses. So here we go. Femias is 11-5. Billy Mitchell 4-1. Cramer 2-0. So who's going down that left-hand side? No one really. Barlow only got 2 and 0. Langstaff 1 and 0. Long balls and accurate long balls. So 21 and 7 for the keeper. So he had 30 passes. 21 of them were long balls, and 9 of them were short passes. Cooper 11 and 4. Billy Mitchell 7 and 5. And Camille Negley 6 and 3. Etc. 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 So there you go. Now, I've got some bad news for those of you who do watch the stats and are mildly interested. I don't know how much interest. Here's the thing. It's interesting to look at if you see something in them. If you're just looking at numbers and you're like, well, what happened there? It kind of glosses over you. But if you do, oh, look, there's that thing. That's interesting. This thing happened. Okay, I understand. But I'm not particularly interested in him personally. But the reason why I do the stats post-match is because it's the Daily Millwall. And then I'm like, okay, on Sundays, we was getting to a point where there was no news. Because obviously, nobody's writing anything. They have the day off. The only thing where there's news on a Sunday is where there's a transfer speculation. But that only happens when the transfer window's open. So for most of the year, there is literally zero on a Sunday. So I'm like, well, what can I put on a Sunday? Why don't I do the stats from the game before on a Sunday? And that's good because, the way they do it is they use the video, the full match replays. They put that on their computers and they use the computer to do all the calculating. So this is a pass, that's a pass, etc, etc. They do all that, and that roughly takes 24 hours. So by the time we get to Sunday evening, the stats are all in, they're all uploaded on the computer, and we can get to it. But the one that I normally use, FBref, they've got in a bit of trouble. They got a little bit of trouble. So this is from FBref, but from their head office company, or whatever, parent company, sports-reference.com, and it's their blog. So they've been told to take the stuff down. They've been told to take it down. They can't upload it anymore, so it's all gone. So all they have is the basic stuff, which is, not interesting. So, FBref and StatHead data update. At Sports Reference, we've taken great pride in the role FBref has played over the last 7 years as an expansive source for soccer fans all over the world. Unfortunately, last week, the provider of our advanced soccer data sent us a letter terminating our access to their data feeds and requiring the deletion of their data from the site immediately. As a result, we have removed the provider's data from the FBref and StatHead in compliance with their demand. The data provider has asserted that our use of the data violated our agreement. Their demand came unexpectedly, despite our long-standing and good faith operation of FBref and StatHead. We've operated the sites in a consistent manner from their creation, well before the signing of this agreement through to today. We've also always welcomed open and frank discussions about how the sites operate. Any effort to retain access to this advanced data would have been costly and uncertain. Under the circumstances, we've decided to comply with a termination notice. So again, I don't know what's going on, but there's been some suggestions online on social media that a deal's been done, maybe like a venture capital thing has come in and bought the company, and then now they're trying to jack up the prices for everyone. Someone's saying, an official betting partner, they've bought the data and they're trying to restrict access because it's, obviously people betting on games. It's all about that stuff. So they're like, make it harder for people to get good data, to get good bets in. Because, it's proper business now, proper professional punters, they're getting involved in this stuff. It's very serious business. And some people saying, it's because the AI is just stripping everything, and they want it off off the internet. They don't want it. They want it behind a paywall. Obviously, if it's the thing with the free and open internet is it's free and open. The clue's in the name. So the AI can just go to the website, strip all of the information off, take it back to its AI base, and start to rule the world. So yeah, this creates a significant gap in the stats offered on FBref and StatHead, and we're heartbroken for both our users who have come to rely upon this product and for our team that spent thousands of hours bringing these stats to life and supporting our users. We're especially upset by the massive step back this creates in data democratization is a core sports reference value, and the removal of this data is a sad day for all of us. We will take time to assess possible paths forward. FBref will continue to present the deep historic basic data we have for over 100 competitions, but if we present advanced data in the future, it will certainly have a dramatically smaller scale. Please do not send requests for data or access to a product that no longer exists. The advanced data has been deleted. So 7 years of stuff backed up, gone, vamoose, deleted, and cannot be provided. So I used to use this when we were linked with a player. I would use this website and go, well, here's what they've done in the past. This is what they've done. So, I mean, that's out the fucking window now, isn't it? So for StatHead subscribers, so this was their paywall thing. They did have a paywall section, but they put a lot out for free anyway. So fuck knows what was behind the paywall. Probably telling you, what the players had for breakfast and stuff like that. How many times they had a shit a day? I don't know. We recognise that the product has changed substantially from the product you signed up for, and we will make sure that StatHead Soccer subscribers are made whole should they desire a refund. We are working through the implications and processes needed, and will contact you shortly, likely by Friday, with refund options, including 4-month refunds for monthly subscribers and prorated refunds for annual subscribers to our single sport soccer product. If, after we reach out with our refund offer, you still have questions, please contact our customer success team. So again, it's brutal, but they seem to be trying to do the right thing. It's not their fault. The rug's been pulled out from under them, which is now cascaded to us. Me and you and everyone else trying to get information about players that we're linked with that we're not going to sign. Just had the rug pulled out from under us. So, what a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. I can't find out how many aerial duels Mihailo Ivanovic lost. What am I going to do? I don't know. But here's the thing. So here's the thing though. If I watch a game of football with a notepad and I count all the times this player did that player did that, that's my data, isn't it? Surely they don't own the data for the event. If I watch the event and make my own data from it, that belongs to me, isn't it? So they're going to have to gather the data themselves, but like they said, they probably don't have the resources to do that, and certainly will they do that for the Championship? They'll have to sign up to some kind of full match replay thing, and then which you get a Millwall. If you sign up to Millwall TV, you get full match replays. Usually the day after the game, late though. Sunday like midnight, I think. But you do get it. So again, we'll see how that works out. But yeah, absolute fucking joke. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.